Welcome to the 7 Eagle Group podcast, your home for inspiring stories, valuable tips, and great advice from hard-charging veterans so you can lead a more rewarding and lucrative post-military career.
All right, one of our top partners here for military veterans and transitioning service members who want to go into the skilled trade career path is this amazing company called Skillwork. And so excited today to chat with Tim Raglin. He's one of the founding partners, Chief Operating Officer at Skillwork. He's been there for the last 7 years, 24-year retired Lieutenant Commander out of the Navy. So he's had a distinguished military career. We'll get a chance to hear about that. And Tim is based out in Omaha, Nebraska, and just an incredible career himself of working with Union Pacific and Raytheon before coming on board at Skillwork. So Tim, thanks for taking some time today to chat. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Jordy. It's always good to talk to you and catch up and share kind of our mutual desire and passion for helping out military guys.
Absolutely. Tell everyone a little bit about your experience. You had a great career, good run in the Navy. What was that like for you? How did that help you in your civilian career?
Yeah, so thank you for asking. I did, as you mentioned, some time in the Navy. I couldn't quite figure out how to get out, and they didn't figure out a way to kick me out, so I ended up doing just a little bit shy of 25 years. I was very fortunate. I spent the first half of that career as an enlisted guy. As a chief petty officer in the Navy, and fortunate through opportunities in the military to get my degree, and then accepted to OCS. So I went to Officer Candidate School and got to spend some lovely weeks with Marine Corps drill instructors and made it through that, and spent about the last 12 years as an officer. So kind of went from 01, as you mentioned, Lieutenant Commander, when I finally hung it up, and happened to be in Omaha, Nebraska. I was completing a joint tour here at United States Strategic Command, which is at Offutt Air Force Base located here just outside of Omaha. So we ended up settling here, and from there, as you mentioned, worked a little bit with a couple of Fortune 150 companies, Raytheon, kind of parlaying my military experience there, and then recruited over to Union Pacific Railroad to help continue to expand kind of my knowledge. And then this company, Skillwork, me and my partner Brett started just almost 6 weeks ago this week. I'm sorry, 6 years ago this week.
Wow.
Yeah. So been going at this for 6 years and having a good time, as you said.
Yeah.
Looking forward, vetting and placing highly skilled tradesmen.
Yeah, that's why we teamed up with you, because of your guys' commitment and desire to help the military community and put them into these great roles at your clients throughout the country. So tell everyone a little bit about Skillwork and your mission and what you do and what sorts of clients you work with.
Yeah, so Skillwork is a staffing company. Our model, the business model, is based off a tried and proven model that the medical industry used. They established about 20 years ago the travel model. They call it travel staffing for nurses at the time, and they parlayed that into a couple of other kind of supporting the medical industry. So we studied that model, and we thought it had a lot of merit for another space, which is also seeing huge gaps in supply and huge demand on the upswing, and that is in the higher end skill trades. And by higher end skill trades, we primarily focus on manufacturing, some construction, but think about the amount of technology and technological improvements in automation and robotics and manufacturing. It's not your dad's manufacturing plant anymore. Very highly technical. Well, those guys that are required to maintain, troubleshoot, deploy, all of that equipment are in high demand, and they're hard to find. So we really focus on finding those guys, hiring them as our employees, and then traveling them to those locations. So in the military world, it's the Navy, we call it TED, and in the Air Force Army, I think they call it TDY, but it's temporary assignment from your parent command. So we're the parent command. These guys work for us. We take care of them. We really invest in their care and feeding, but we deploy them to our client locations for 6 months is our sweet spot, depending on whether it's a good fit or not. For our travelers, which we call skill workers. Once we hire them, they're skill workers. it's a great fit for them. They can continue, they can look for another opportunity if they want to travel someone else, or even stay there if they like the location permanent. So as you mentioned, Jordy, we love to give an opportunity to service members. I've got obviously a passion for that. My experience, my one of my lead guys here that manages a lot of my operations is an ex-Marine. We got another Army guy, another Navy guy. So we really look for opportunities to provide places for those guys to go and apply their skills.
Yeah, and great career paths too. I love that you pay well. These are strong companies you put them at, and just some amazing opportunities for military candidates. Tim, talk a little bit about what are some of the qualities, the character traits, the things you and your hiring team like to see in these military candidates, if anyone is interested.
Yeah, so for military guys, like myself and anybody coming out of the military, trying to transition what you did in the military to a civilian workforce is sometimes not a one-for-one match. Oftentimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. So, mostly what we really are looking for with our military guys coming out is, do they have some aptitude, mechanical aptitude, or is their MOS for the job they held, was it more in like, was it maintenance? Was it avionics? Was it something where they applied mechanical aptitude and skills? Then we look to try to find a location where they're military friendly. They're looking for an opportunity to bring those guys on board and oftentimes give them some training and development. But the main thing, Jordy, you and I have talked about this a lot. The main thing those guys bring is a team first attitude. They show up. They know how to get the mission done. And honestly, a lot of our clients out there, they're just looking for guys that show up and that are team players.
Hard, yeah.
I was at a facility, just a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, they were hurting for these guys to the point where that maintenance manager said, "Listen, if they can identify the difference between a pair of pliers and a screwdriver, but will show up with the right attitude, we'll put them to work." So. Yeah, a little bit of an overstatement there, but the point is, man, these guys are looking for, they're just looking for people to show up. It's crazy, and obviously, if you've been in the military, I mean, that's one of the things we got figured out. You don't show up late, right?
Right, right. I refer to it as just like, do the easy things, show up, be nice, get along with everyone, work hard, give it your best, all the stuff we learned in kindergarten, right? Just do that and you're 90% ahead of all your other competitors out there fighting for those jobs.
We had a guy at one of our locations, and a lot of times, when our customers, our clients say, "Hey, we're kind of looking for this," and they don't really know 100%. We send a guy there and he's like, "Yeah, bring us another rock." We have to kind of get down to what they want. We sent a guy, this was an advanced glass manufacturer, so they did a lot of high-tech glass manufacturing. Guy we sent up there was like, this guy doesn't really have any of the skills we need, but he's such a good guy. Yeah, he's such a team player. Yeah. He'll do anything we ask him to. He's learning like crazy. Can you send to somebody else? But we're keeping this guy just because we love him. I mean, that's the thing.
Exactly. Right? You make your own opportunities by doing those easy things, and that's awesome. I love it. Well, listen, anyone listening who is interested in this sort of a career path, please reach out. You're going to hook up with a company like Tim's. It's in Skillwork that just care deeply for the military veteran and transitioning service member. They want the best for you. That's why we've partnered with them. And so please reach out, put your hand up, and we'll hook you up with his team. And then you guys can see if there's an opportunity for a career for yourself. So Tim, thank you so much for what you guys do at Skillwork, and keep up the great work.
Thanks. Back at you, Jordy. Love working with you guys, and hope we have an opportunity for some future skill workers out there coming from the military ranks.
You got it.